Hello, hello, hello. Super excited to be here with you for another conversation. This is the Conversation with Stevie, and this is the place where we uncover the why of what people do. And so I am Dr. Stevii Mills. What I do in life and in business is to help women business owners to create an online business that honors their values so that they can live a life they absolutely love. And today's conversation is going to be chock full of amazingness, and we are going to start. So help me welcome to the Conversation with Stevie, Roxanne. How are you, Roxanne?
I am fabulous, Stevie. Very happy to be here. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. Please do take a few moments to introduce yourself to everybody.
Oh, yeah. Well, hi, everybody. I'm Roxanne Jarrett, and I am an entrepreneur with ADHD, and I love to help other entrepreneurs with ADHD get their work done, reach their earning potential so they can live a life that they truly enjoy while honoring their glorious ADHD brains.
I love that. I love that so much. Please do us a favor and tell us what exactly is ADHD. We've heard it. I'm sure a lot of people know about it. But from your standpoint, what is it?
ADHD is actually in the DSM, which is the Diagnostic Book for Psychiatric Disorders. It is often considered a mild learning disability or learning difference. I look at it as a superstar element, and it stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. A lot of women are either misdiagnosed or not diagnosed with ADHD because they don't have the hyperactive component, or it's kind of on the lower side and with some level of impulsivity. So a lot of women fall under the inattentive, distracted type of ADHD, and in school may struggle, but kind of fall under the, like, below the radar, or fall through the cracks because they can stay in their seat, but they tend to get distracted. So typical issues with ADHD folks is difficulty managing time, organizing materials, executive functioning issues, distraction, and productivity issues that kind of get in the way of achieving the goals that are set before them, that they set before them, or that are imposed upon them.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And so in your work, what do you think is the most beneficial thing that we, as people who may not have the opportunity to know as much about ADHD, to really assist or to undergird you so that we can support you in business?
Okay, so let me see if I'm getting you correctly, Stevie. You're asking how ADHD people can be supported in business?
Yes, how we can, like, somebody who doesn't have ADHD, how can we support you?
Oh, well, absolutely. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, is there anything we need to do differently as we promote or as we provide services? I just want to open that conversation so that we can educate people, because some people just don't know what to do. So I want to be able to have you as an expert to really clarify that for us so that we are being inclusive of everyone as we continue to do business together.
What a fabulous angle to come from, Stevie, and thank you so much for asking that. So I think one of the biggest things that people can do is to recognize that people with ADHD have brains that are wired differently than a neurotypical brain. So a lot of times people with ADHD from childhood go through their lives thinking that there's something wrong with them, or if they just try harder or concentrate harder, that they will actually get things done in the way that their neurotypical counterparts do. And once a person with ADHD comes out of childhood, they've been corrected, quote unquote, by adults 20,000 times or more on average than a neurotypical child. And I think what people who do not have or do not understand ADHD can learn and can know in order to support people with ADHD is that it can't be turned off. It's a brain wiring difference that needs to be approached differently, and that neurotypical techniques that help just basically techniques that might help organize a person who's neurotypical will not necessarily work for someone with ADHD because their brains are wired differently.
I love that. Thank you so much for taking the time to answer that, because I really want to be able to assist. And I want to ask you, how can we identify, and this may be a question that you can help us with from your experience, just how, if we are somebody who may be experiencing ADHD and we just haven't noticed that or known yet, what type of things would we do in business to truly help us to identify that?
All right, that is a fabulous question too. So it is very common for entrepreneurs to have ADHD and not know it, and for adults to have ADHD and not know it. And so if you know that you are motivated, you are driven, you are ambitious, you are creative, and you work hard, and somehow you don't seem to be reaching your goals in the way that you think you would with all of the work and ambition that you have, you may have a brain wiring difference. And the first thing to do is to consult a diagnostician, like a psychiatrist or a psychologist, and to bring those particular issues and concerns to a professional for evaluation. Because once you get evaluated, then you can start to really understand what's going on with you and carve out a path that can help you and help all of the others around you understand what you need and how you can be supported. So knowledge of your condition comes first, and it is so common in my work to find people who are suspecting that they have ADHD or recently diagnosed after many, many years of trying their absolute best and having a difficult time getting projects and launches, business launches and offerings across the finish line.
Thank you so much. And so are you noticing that as the world is changing, a lot more people are becoming aware of helping people, like being more holistic in our health, as far as let's make sure everybody is included, because this is something very inclusive. And I love this topic because, you know, in my life I've done some substitute teaching, and one thing that I have realized is that you can tell children who are experiencing ADHD, but they seem to me just, you know, like they're normal too. And I want everybody to understand that they're normal too. It's not like they have something going on that's different. And I love that, because most children are what people would stereotypically describe as ADHD, right? And so I just want to know, in your experience, are you realizing that more people are being more accepting of everybody now as we do business? Or is there still work yet to do?
Oh, there's absolutely work to do, but there definitely have been strides made, and have to acknowledge that. You know, with the advent of social media, especially, and just the internet, which is still relatively young in our human experience, we have so much access to information and knowledge, and sometimes information that's not accurate. But there's also plenty of information that will at least put someone on the path to exploring and understanding and on the path to accuracy. We do have a ways to go. There are still people who might say to me, because I have ADHD, why don't you just blank, just focus, just set a deadline, just get it done. What's the problem? And for those people who are experiencing that kind of difficulty, I would say turn your attention, if you feel isolated, to social media if you can, and if you can manage it, and if you are inclined that way, because you can actually find support groups of people who are just like you that will band together with you from all over the world. And there is nothing like the feeling of knowing and understanding that you are not alone. But yes, we have some work to do, but I really got to give a lot of credit to you, Stevie, and to all of the people that I know and I've come across in my professional life that are willing to listen, to understand, to include, and to be open.
I love that. Thank you so much. Can you tell us what your day, like your work day, looks like? Are you able, do you have a schedule that you go by, or do you have, sporadic bursts of energy for work, or what does that, can you paint that picture for us?
Yeah, well, my work day is pretty, there's certain parts of my day that are pretty structured. The morning is for me, and I try my best to stay off of my phone and off of the computer and off of any kind of screen in the morning. I do have an accountability partner that I do my vocal training with, and then I have certain hours that I work. It moves, my work days, my work hours are different from day to day, Monday through Friday. One thing I have to say is that my day is structured with a lot of supports. Because I have ADHD and I understand what my challenges are, I use the Amazon Echo a lot to keep me structured, and I have one of them in each part of my house. It's always within earshot because I need a lot of reminders and external reminders, which is common for somebody with ADHD. So that's what my day looks like. And in terms of the energy, yes, my energy fluctuates throughout the day, and I actually teach about that when I instruct entrepreneurs with ADHD. I teach them that managing time is a lot about managing your energy, and I have specific systems and I have specific formulas that I use to help people find their personal energy fluctuations so that they can work smarter and not harder.
Awesome. As we begin to wrap our conversation up today, what I want to ask you is one more question I tend to ask everybody who comes here, and that literally is a fill-in-the-blank question. So the question is, Stevie, we cannot leave the conversation today without everybody knowing and fill in the blank.
Okay. Stevie, we cannot leave the conversation today without everybody knowing that people with ADHD are wired differently and are trying their best. We are trying our best, because I include myself in that. And for those of us with ADHD, those of you out there listening who either suspect you have it or know you have it, just know that if you are trying the same technique over and over again and you're not getting a positive result, you may need to try a different technique, one that is designed specifically for your glorious ADHD brain.
I love that. I love it so much. So before we leave, we, of course, have to get your contact information. So please go ahead and give it to us.
All right. You can find me at swellhead.com. That's S as in Samuel, WELLHEAD.com. And Swellhead is for creative entrepreneurs with ADHD that are bursting with brilliant ideas and need help getting their offerings across the finish line so they can reach their earning potential.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Roxanne, for being here with us today. This has indeed been an amazing conversation. I've learned so much, and I know that everybody here has as well.
Thank you so much, Stevie. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Everybody, listen, we have been educated today, and we have been charged to be more accepting of differences, all kinds of differences. We zeroed in on ADHD today, but guess what? There are so many other differences, and I think this conversation has truly been about acceptance and really making space and holding space for other people. And so I am Dr. Stevie Aisha Mills, and the way that you can stay connected to me definitely is to know how to spell my first name, Stevii. That's how you spell it. So if you're looking for me, definitely put the 2 I's at the end. And also, I want to share with you all my book, Click to Cash. It is the book that has 7 proven strategies of how I was able to make 6 figures last year in the midst of the pandemic in my business. So if you go to clickthecashnow.com, again, clickthecashnow.com, you're able to get you a copy of that book. So I look forward to you all learning that as well. I end everything I do the same way, and I say, make it a great day. Don't have a great day. Make it a great day. Why? Because you, and yes, you too have the power to do so. Bye for now.
Oh, bye.